So happy Saturday, everyone. So today, Shivangi and Parul are off. Um, so in terms of agenda, I think let's talk a little bit about satsang, the overview, and then a topic, and then we'll go into meditation, and then we open it up for discussions as usual. So in terms of I think schedule November will be a tough one because there's a lot of traveling, but we want to keep the ball rolling, keep the so I'll be traveling next week. So I promised I'll start a email thread, which I'll do probably this weekend, and to make sure that we are informed if there is any scheduling issues. So now there was a Substack article on how the mind works. And so one, it's never empty. Thoughts are always flowing. And for most part, it lives in the past or the future. So rarely, is in the present. And why we are here to bring it to the present moment, because that's where, you really bring your mind to rest. And as we had discussed in the past, it's like when you are centered in the present moment, you're not in the past, you're not in the future. The worry and anxiety essentially drives from we being either stuck in the past or thinking, especially, ruminating about something that is bound to happen in the future. So while, past is past, future, is always as uncertain, but we just have this machine which is, exponentially, it can exponentially multiply, the effects in our own mind. And then presence. So if we want to feel, energized, we need to feel the presence of this transcendental energy in any form that works for us. So now, one of the things that my father described in one of his discourses was that, every time we leave a thought which has been running, at that moment we feel peace. So the examples he gave was that if you're thinking of buying something, or if you are thinking of, getting to a position, getting something from that perspective, it runs in your head. And as soon as you get that, there is that moment, call it happiness, call it, and that moment, you really feel relieved, or, you feel accomplished, you feel happy. And what he said was that think of that moment as when you have actually gotten that thought around it of getting something went away, and the process of that thought going away is actually giving you relief. Um, so, and this continues to happen because, first we are caught up in one thing, then another thing, then another thing. So every time you accomplish or get what you were looking for, there is this moment of happiness. So, so he kind of extended that and said, like, if you just, got rid of all these thoughts that, you know, you are caught up in, how much happier you will be. So that was, but basically what he was describing was the process of, leaving a thought leads to, so it's not that we think that what we got gave us, that happiness, but his view was like, you got rid of that thought and just that is a relief and that is the happiness. And then he went towards like, if we could go towards what Maharishi Patanjali called Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, where, there is no new thoughts being generated within our unconscious brain, that is when you are completely and totally in the yoga state, or the state of, you know, um, being with the transcendental energy or satsang. And that's when you really feel the peace. And that's what we are up to now. So that's what we'll do now. So eyes slightly closed, and sit in a still and relaxed posture. And think of this tremendously positive, powerful, and uplifting energy. The source, a conscious source of that energy is right here, right now. Feel the presence. And that energy in form of light is entering your heart, distributing throughout the body. And you're becoming completely and totally immersed in that light. So if mind wanders away, bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that we are in the presence of this conscious source, of this transcendental energy. And this energy in form of light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we're becoming completely and totally immersed in it. So we are becoming the light. So we'll start with music, then music fades away, and we go deep into silent meditation on this transcendental energy. And then we'll transition out with music again. So I'll just repeat one more time that feel the presence of this transcendental energy in form of light, and this light is entering your heart, enlightening it, and then distributing throughout your body, and you're getting completely and totally immersed in the light. You are becoming the light. Let's start. So happy Saturday. I'm glad that we are here in satsang. So any thoughts, questions, comments? So I think Tuesdays, uh, you know, actually people do join from India, but I think it'll be pretty early in the morning, but I'll try to join. 8th November and 22nd November, I think uh, there are some events, so we'll have to see how that'll work. But I'll start an email thread. So Peter, Ashita, Paula, any, can you unmute? Hey.
How are you?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So how are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. So
Yeah.
I needed meditation today, so it's all good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Um,
So how
that
are
was
how's this evolving? Are you able to do it on your own, or you rely on the group sessions, or how's it working?
yeah, I try to do sometimes on my own and stuff. It's just like sometimes I'll forget sometimes, but I do love the group sessions because it like helps me like remember to
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
um to meditate. But I definitely need to do more on my own also.
Yeah. Group sessions help a lot. It's actually uh, they can help getting into a more consistent meditation mode.
Yeah, that's true.
So what else?
Mm. I think it's good that like to bring yourself to the present moment. Yeah, like our minds like there, especially throughout the week, we're always thinking about future, thinking about the past, thinking about this. But it's good to like like I really love the like just like being in the present moment.
Yeah, easier said than done, right? It's
I know.
very actually it is very tough. But what I found was that, you know, um, I don't know if many people realize that, but when you are with someone who's in the present moment, that, you know, r- that actually gets you too in that mode. So, especially when in person satsang happens, because everybody is trying to be in the present moment. And so it's a collective energy sort of thing. And then obviously the process where, you know, I think the way this was packaged is like there is a transition in, you talk about something, you're thinking about those things. So you get away from where you were caught up, and then you get into, music or prayers, and then you meditate. And silent meditation also, so far as there is less chatter within. So if through the transition in we were able to, calm down the mind to a point where it can go, deeper into silent meditation, it usually works well.
Mhm.
So, so yeah, there is art and science to it.
Yeah. No, it's amazing.
It is actually, I have personally seen that, when I was growing up, obviously younger minds or even more chaotic minds. I mean, I'm generalizing, but it happens at all ages, I guess. Uh, but then I met these people who were, quote unquote, in these meditative modes, and I mean, amazingly calming effect.
Mhm.
So, I mean, just imagine, like, by being with someone in that state, you get into that state. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's almost like let's say like I don't know, like an elevator gets stuck and then everybody's like afraid. Like then you're gonna be afraid. But then if everybody's like calm, then you're gonna be calm.
Right.
Like it's like yeah, it's like it's whole crazy like how energy works.
Yes, yes, yes. You actually nailed it.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sanjeev. I was wondering if I could have some information and guidance. This week, one of Jeffrey's therapists told me that I am suffering from compassion fatigue. And we talked about self care and other things that one needs to do to achieve a better state. But I wonder where you turn to when the well of compassion feels like it's running dry.
So, Paula, and you have been here for so long that I basically can be very candid, and pardon me for doing so. And I want to kind of learn something here as well. So when I heard about um, compassion fatigue, I was actually quite appalled and stunned and was like, huh. Um, and I'm not saying this just for saying sake. I'm being very, very sincere. And so first reaction was like, is that something too? Because what I learned, what I saw, what I um, grew up with in satsang was I met so many people in person who should have, quote unquote, who should have been not compassion fatigue. They must have been like completely and totally exhausted. Um, and I can go on and on to explain. So, like, for example, um, when my mother passed away, I went from US to India. And when so I had to talk about her. So I started thinking about what should I say, and listed out things, and then what came up right on the top was her ability to listen to people who were going through hard times. And hours and hours and hours and days and weeks and months of doing that. So much so that my brother once had said something, and I kind of, in that context, I kind of started relating with it. He said that satsang in the state that we were in, like So, I grew up 200 miles west of Delhi in Jaipur. So it's Rajasthan, the desert state on the western side of India. And satsang grew in that state, my brother said, because my mother had, you know, uh, started traveling less. So people knew, and doors were always open. So people knew that they, with my father, he used to travel a lot. So if somebody just said, like, okay, I will go and meet him, they would have to think it's, you know, he's on travel or not. Here, she started traveling less, and everybody would just like, whenever they thought they need to talk to her, they would just come. And then hours and hours of free consultation, free listening, free compassion, free love, free, and food would go along with it. I mean, it was unbelievable. And I can go on and on and on. I've met people I would go and meet, and sometimes I would just go sit there, and it's quiet. It's completely this state of being in the present moment, and so on and so forth. And I actually, when I was, I think, a teenager, I asked my father why, in India at that time, like travel wasn't like as comfortable as sometimes it can be these days. I mean, travel is always not very predictable, but um, so he would go every time he would get a vacation, he would go to travel for satsang, and one vacation, next vacation, third, and it's on and on and on. And I said, like, this is very grueling. And because the weather in India can be extreme, and he was professor in chemistry, so he would only get holidays during summer and winter at the top or peak of summer and winter, and that's the time he would travel. And I actually asked him, like, so is there a better time, or is there like you have timed it the worst possible times that you travel? And he said, there are people who cannot travel to me. They don't have the means. So I go to see them, and so on and so forth. And, you know, um, so when I look, the thing that, so when I put two and two together, there are two things that come to the surface. Number one, fatigue comes when um, I am, there is, let's just say that if I was to replenish my energy, replenish my, you know, even my mindset on an ongoing basis, then, I will be, my engine will be well oiled and well run, and will continue to run. So one aspect is that, am I connected to the source which gives me energy every day so that I can fight the daily fight? The second thing is that, what is my sense of duty? And this one is, so first one is a difficult subject, because I think satsang's core concept is that, yes, you can like a solar cell gathers energy from the sun, you can also connect to the source of energy and feel energized and be energized. Um, so that's one deep subject. But the second one, that's a little more difficult to fathom, is what am I doing and why? My purpose. So if I'm doing something, and actually this I see in the social media in so many ways and forms, but I don't know if it's a deep rooted conviction or it is on the surface. So the question, I think, becomes, actually, you know what? I have 2 books that I'll send you. And we'll talk about those in another session. But coming back to the sense of duty, so this so if my purpose was duty driven, in the sense that I do everything because I know this is what I need to do, and I'm completely and totally into it. So what they say is that, if you do some work, but if you, it'll take some energy and motivation and all that. But if you do something that is your passion, your love, you know, uh, so if there is a sense of that purpose, then you will be in it. So what I'm trying to say is that the sense of duty or purpose, when they align in a way that so ideally, I think all religions tell us that we should serve others, in the sense that our primary task should be that whatever energy and physical and spiritual and psychological means we have, we go and share that with others, and in that sense we serve others. And now what happens is that when that becomes a completely that I'm totally convinced that that's what I need to do, then there is no what I would say is like the fatigue issue comes in when I'm doing something which I'm, not so much in it. And I'm actually, I think the expression is not coming right, but basically what I mean here is that so I'll give you, and this might be the other extreme example where, so my grandfather, when he met his guru, obviously he followed him and so on and so forth. But then eventually, seeing his devotion and everything, his guru said that you go and serve others. And he took that as the purpose of his life. And that day onwards, he cared little about anything else. So while he, I think he His wife kind of supported that mission. His kids, and which actually is mind-boggling to me, 3 sons, 2 daughters, all of them completely dedicated to serving others because that's what they saw in him. Which, looking at the culture today, it's like, wow, how did that happen? And so I don't know. I'll pause here. I think so to me, there are 2 things. One is replenishing your energy. And second is, we are born to serve others. Let's not, uh, think. So that should be our day in and day out duty. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does make sense. I think I need to maybe work more on connecting with the source that will hopefully bring me more energy. As you said, through my children and through my job, my life has been dedicated to serving others.
Yep.
And I'm not one to say, when they said to me, oh, you need to practice self-care. And, I know that from being a nurse, and I know that from being a mom in general, but being a mom of a now adult child with special needs is different. But I think maybe I think your points were well taken, that if I'm not practicing the meditation every day and every night, and we do try to make it to the sessions on Tuesdays and Saturdays, but maybe that's where I need to do some extra work, because the source will bring me more energy, hence more compassion, I think.
Totally. And I think if we, and I mean, usually selfless service and selfless devotion and selfless connection is right. But sometimes if you are intentional in your intent to, that give me this power, this energy, give me this ability, and manifest this more strongly. I think I have seen that works. And obviously, as you said, like Saturdays and Tuesdays, because the collective energy affects you. So being in positive environments positively affects you. That's definite. But then I think, what's the right word? Because the current culture is very, so when I talk about my situation, and yeah, maybe let me do this. I think this is a topic that I did think about, and there is this aspect of, how should we think about serving others so that it's not a burden on us at all. I think that is, maybe it's a cultural aspect as well. But I think I have some notes I'll bring to another session. And as I told you, one of my very close friends, his elder daughter is autistic, and he obviously worries about, his question always is like, what will happen to her?
Exactly.
That-
Yep. Hmm.
and so he actually wrote a book. I will share that with you. Um,
Thank
and
you.
he asked me to review it. So the title of the book actually uh, was so he had one title. Then I suggested the one that he took is suggested by me. So uh, and believe it or not, in the new book that I'm coming up with, I actually put this one chapter around compassion fatigue because I got some input from multiple folks, and it wasn't originally in there, but then I added that.
I
And
look forward to reading that book.
yeah, definitely, I am. I mean, this is, see, when you talk about like deeply spiritual things, and eventually they connect. But how compassion fatigue ties with satsang, uh, you know, a lot of times there are these things that you have to kind of sort of go a few steps to figure that out. So I'm trying to see if um, how self-discipline helps in mental resilience and how mental resilience helps in spiritual resilience. And um, so it's an attempt towards trying to tie things together a little more in the current cultural context.
I agree. I believe they are all very tied together.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sanjeev. I appreciate it.
But I think I will come back to it, but I think we ought to think about the tasks that we need to do are, like things that, part of our faith and devotion and our, spiritual progress and all. So if we tie it that way, what we do becomes, everything we do becomes a prayer. So as you said, I mean, you are in the service industry, you are serving at home as well. So now the question is, uh, I think it's just that if we get to a state of mind where everything we do is towards one goal and one goal only, and that is, this is in service uh, to our Father. That's it. And that way it just changes. Everything becomes like I'm doing it for that one single reason. But I'll think about. I have some notes. I'll bring those out in one of the next sessions. I'll articulate those as well.
Thank you.
Sure thing. So Ajita, Ashita, anything before we wrap up today?
Pranam, I really appreciate this sort of long, the question and the answer. It just, yeah, it helps so much. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for the meditation. These are great topics, and they were definitely circulating in my brain as well. So it was good to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, it's See, there is this concept of karma yogi, right? So, uh, so there is the concept of karma, where everything that you're doing uh, is towards the same goal of reaching that state of yoga, union with the body, mind, and spirit, and so on and so forth. So the karma yogi is one who has achieved that state where everything he does is towards that goal only. And once you switch from I'm doing this for this reason, I'm doing this for that reason, I'm doing this for that reason. So basically, you need motivation because of the outcome. But if I do it because I got to do it as a duty, my job as a nurse is to do my best. They pay me less, they pay me more is one of the outcomes, which is probably necessary, but as a duty, as a nurse, I do my best, right? If I focus from that perspective selflessly, then my service becomes pure, and there is no motivation required. The outcome is a byproduct. Outcome is not my motivation. It's food for thought, more in another session. All right. So on that note, see you all soon. Next Saturday, there might be a little bit of a hiccup, but we'll have the session and we'll figure out to continue these sessions more seamlessly. So 8th and 22nd are 2 dates where we'll have to figure this out. All right. Have a good week ahead. And Peter, Mola, Ashita, Sangeeta ji, Pooja, Omkar, Arvind ji, Poonam ji, Ella ji, and Ajita. So namaskar and bye everyone.